The Orchid Collection, Diverging an Established Process, a Fluid Line of Jewelry. I'm Fernando Diaz, and this is my capstone project. The concept behind my project is exploring how value can be put into an object beyond its materiality. Making jewelry in the intention of creating a zero waistline of staple pieces is now more relevant than ever as designers take on the responsibility of their own methods of creation and production. Going into the ideation phase, I thought about movement and fluidity. Movement and fluidity are the things we can't see and are the things that are most fluid. Movement and expansive direction follow limited rules with motion at the core of their being. This entire process and concept filled a space with no space by transforming and leaving behind the remnants of an old idea that absorbed new findings and embraced them. The entire universe flows together and takes inspiration from itself. The microscopic birth of a cell is the beginning of life, while its ethereal mother is the death of a star. As a star dies and the single cell splits into two, they form a moment, become each other, retaining some identity of this energy's past life and form. This ideology is what seeped into this process of this collection. I wanted the pieces to be ecologically responsible and caring in its process. I want these bigger concepts to linger and humble aware to think about their place in the world, to think about how ultimately we're all connected through fluid motion of spaces and thoughts. It was important for these pieces to be as sustainable as possible. Using water-based sand, the burnout from liquid silver is minimal. The molds were made using beeswax and using the shavings from the beeswax to remelt and make new blocks for new molds to be carved out. Shavings from dust and silver were also collected and remelted into new forms, and zero water was used for the entire process. I decided to go with sand casting because I thought it would be the most sustainable, seeing as it used the least amount of water. Being able to reuse the sand over and over again, it seemed to give me room to stay within range of using limited materials. For the materiality, I decided to go with recycled silver, seeing that since it wasn't virgin silver, hopefully the materiality would react in a way that I wanted it to. Maybe it would have the same reaction and effect as stone, as rock erosions, or any other kind of natural textures that I might have found inspiration from. Allowing the material to freely react when creating these pieces, I think, accentuates the point of the story, which is connection. When you allow people to connect naturally, these things form in a way that might be unexpected and only solely can be adjusted subtly. Throughout this process and throughout the creation of these pieces, a lot of the forms didn't stay the same as the originals were intended to. A lot of spillovers happened, a lot of indentations, a lot of mishaps caused these pieces to take form in a different direction using the negative space that were naturally created when pouring the silver into the cast. They were molded in part and in harmony with the material that were used to make them in the first place. Listening to their instinct, listening to their character, and abiding by them, only manipulating it as far as it allows itself to take it. And the other challenge is with being sustainable, how do we not lose that grip of the sense of luxury, the sense of value in an object that is created as something that had a previous life, especially now in a consumer's mindset. Packaging, I felt like it would be interesting to create a home for these pieces, like a embryonic sack that helps clean it, made from vegan leather, keeping in line with the sustainability as well as a new form of luxury and a new view of it. The collection is fluid. The collection aims to capture the essence of form and motion. The collection is made from recycled materials. The collection has a second life. These pieces are meant to not only be luxurious in their form and materiality, but in their concept, seeing as they were taken from their previous life and reincarnated into this new pendant and new ring and new set of earrings. They take with them the memory and imprint of where they have been in their past life and are now born again and reiterated into the world as something new.